Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. Welcome. We are live again today. We had two super awesome guests on the channel earlier today celebrating our nice long weekend, Memorial Day, and what better way to celebrate than with some witchery. I hope that you all are doing well. Whenever you're watching this, if you're not watching this live, whether it's the day, the night, the afternoon, whatever, welcome. And for all of you watching this live or who will be tuning in or watching the replay, also, hail and welcome.
Hello, hello.
And we had so much fun last night.
It was a very good time.
Pulling cards and just like chatting with you guys. And it was the energy for me.
Okay.
It was the energy for me.
Okay.
So I have all of my links down below. And I will be linking Crafton's links as well. So you can definitely check that out. We have some more readings to do live for you guys tonight. And we're going to be following like a similar theme that we did last night, just because I feel like it's kind of fun to layer, traditional divinatory languages like tarot and mixing them with oracle, I think gives kind of just like a nice modality and like a nice mix. So I'm excited to do more of that.
I agree.
Tonight.
The more fun.
Live. Coming at you in full color. So I have a little bit of a list here already. Do you maybe first show them the cards that you'll be using?
Okay. So this deck is the Line Shredder Tarot. This is kind of like the imagery it works with. It's very minimalist and a lot of its design. The background has a ton of like groovy kind of ink blot color kind of images, which I really like, especially when I feel like there are just certain cards, that have weird backs, and you're like, oh, I can actually tell that's reverse. I can actually tell before I pull it. But a lot of the imagery is very artistic, minimalist, and very clean. Honestly, like I very much enjoy it. Just a few stuff like that. Very watercolor, It just makes me feel like I'm back in my fine art days, but with tarot.
It's a beautiful deck.
And what deck are you using tonight?
So I'm going to be the oracle tonight.
Okay.
You were the oracle last night.
Yep.
Hitting us with the good Kali. Kalima.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be doing the oracle for tonight. So, yes. I'm excited. The oracle deck that I'm going to be using, I was a little bit torn, you guys. I was a little bit torn because, like, part of me was, like, kind of wanting to use just, like, the goddesses and sirens, right? Mm-hmm. And that deck was made by the same, right, with Kali?
Actually, no, that's by, all those are by Alana Fairchild. And then the goddess and sirens and gods and titans is by Stacey DeMarco.
Okay, I don't know why I was thinking it was the same.
It's
this Isis one is the same?
That's under Alana Fairchild.
Alana Fairchild.
Mm-hmm. They're all under Blue Angel Publishing.
Right. That's with the Aradia deck.
Yeah.
Because see, part of me, I've been making a lot of Aradia content on the channel lately as well. Mm-hmm. We've been doing a lot of the Good Witches Gospel on the Patreon.
Absolutely.
And we've been deciphering and trying to, kind of take a second look at the Gospel of Aradia and seeing what it means for us as witches now.
Absolutely.
Because like the first time when I read the Gospel of Aradia, I was much younger.
Oh, right.
So it's nice to look at it through
a different
matured eyes,
if
you will.
The third eye fully there.
If you will.
Okay.
So tonight, I think we're going to bring Isis, okay? We're going to be channeling some Isis vibes. This deck is sickening, of course. I really like the scarab beetle here on the backs of the deck. Oh, and also, too, let's get a little nail cam. A little something for Pride Month coming up.
Okay.
But yeah, I really like the scarab beetles here on the backs. And then, like, of course, the images on the cards do not disappoint either. So here's kind of like, we have like the scales of balance here. Very beautiful card.
Very Libra. Love it.
We have the Lunar Queen.
My favorite.
And the Brother in Darkness.
Oh, set.
A little vibe back.
Okay.
A little Dark Lord, if you will.
Oh yeah, we love a good set moment.
If you will. Let's see, what else do we have here? The Ancient Power Mysteries. Very cute. Very much a vibe. And I believe, have a review video of this deck also on the channel. So if this is something that like catches your eye, or this is something that you think that you might be interested in, I'm pretty sure on my channel I did a deep dive of this. I'm pretty sure the Isis Oracle. I think I did.
You probably did.
Yeah, I think I have
a lot of deep dives.
I think I have a review of the deck, and I love deck reviews, and I like them especially too, because like when you're shopping and when you're looking for cards, it's a nice way to be able to be like, okay, I'm interested, but is it for me?
Right.
You know,
Right.
and especially, you know, with how the past year has been, it's like more people are shopping online. You know, not all stores have demo decks for all the decks that they sell.
Right.
And so it's harder sometimes to be able to like look and see what you might want.
Right. You have to shop around a little different.
You do. And I feel like, you know, it's hard too, because it's like sometimes when you use a deck, like if you go into a metaphysical store, right? And for the record, yes, you can absolutely buy your own cards. Let's just squash that myth.
Please.
It's wonderful if they're gifted to you, and that holds its own power, but you can also go get your own cards as well.
Like if you're gifted one, babe, go buy yourself your own, because I'm sorry, not everybody knows what you like and what you resonate with. It's going to be different.
Yes. And I just want to take a moment to say hi, Kitty and Nocturnal. We have That Witch Meek, who they are here with us in the physical and the digital. They may or may not make an appearance if they feel like it, but they are helping moderate, because for those of you who were on the live last night, you know it was some wildness, okay? But yeah, hello. Joe says that it's my first time viewer. Hello, welcome.
Hello, welcome.
Welcome, hail and welcome. Merry meet, if you will. But yeah, so I just think what I was saying was like, when you're looking to get a deck of cards, you can absolutely buy your own. And, you know, with going through a pandemic, less people have been shopping in person. More people have been shopping online. You know what I mean? And with that comes its own set of challenges. Because even when you're shopping in person, not every deck has a demo deck. So I think one of the advantages of actually looking at deck reviews, if you are someone who's into divination and card-based divination, I think one of the advantages is it's kind of like the closest you can get to like using a demo deck is like watching someone else actually flip through every single card, and whether or not they review and comment on it, but just so you can see every card. And like in a video format, it also hits different than in just picture format.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, that was kind of long-winded, but these are the cards that we're going to be using tonight. We are going to be doing some readings, and you know, we're just going to each be pulling one card here. These are just kind of like quickie pulls. If anyone's interested in like booking a reading, you can do so by checking out the links down below. If you actually want like a session. But tonight we're just going to be pulling cards. And I do have a little bit of a list here right now. I have, let me see, a little over a handful of people, I would say. But if anyone is interested in receiving a reading, just make sure that, you know, you like this video. I think I'm streaming from 2 places, on Facebook and on YouTube. So if you're watching from Facebook, you know, just make sure that you like this video and share this video. And if you're watching from YouTube, just make sure that you subscribe and you like this video. Or technically you could dislike it as well. I mean, either way, it helps your girl out. And yeah, and if you're feeling like it, you can send us a love donation, and all the links are down below as well, whether you do a super chat on YouTube or a PayPal. But I'm just going to kind of keep it open. And like, I think for tonight, maybe we'll just kind of keep that kind of optional. How do you feel about that?
That's fine.
Maybe do, you know what I'm saying? A little something. A little something, babe. A little something.
Babs.
Okay. Yeah, babes. So yeah, donation for tonight. Let's just keep the donation as optional, because I would love to be able to, you know, give everybody a card. And I know with everything going on right now, you know, we're all in different places. So if you want to send a donation, of course, that's welcome. But like for tonight, it's not going to be mandatory. Like sometimes on other nights, it is like part of getting a reading. Now, with that being said, as I'm sure some of you know, when we are doing, you know, more free-based readings where you just like the content and you put your name down, it fills up really quick. And so we are going to do our best to get to everyone, but like we may not be able to. Okay. but we're going to do our best, and we're pretty good at what we do. So
Also, too, I mean, you can always book us. You know what I mean? If you really want a one-on-one, or we've had some inquiries about us, doing readings together.
yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I would love to do that. Yeah. I had, an inquiry. Mm-hmm.
A couple of inquiries lately. They're like, can we get the Craft Sisters together?
I know. And that's not anything that we've ever done or even really considered.
Mm-hmm.
So that just makes it kind of fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we've always just kind of done our own thing, and like,
Mm-hmm.
we work well together,
Mm-hmm.
but like, and we've done festivals.
Right.
And you guys have seen some of that.
Mm-hmm.
We've done festivals, we've done events, like we both work at a brick and mortar metaphysical store. We both see our own clients, but like never have we both like tag teamed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That'd be kind of fun.
It would be kind of fun. And it's something that I think I'm open to,
Mm-hmm.
It'd be different, but like not in a bad way,
No. It's just, the different aunties, Zelda and Hilda.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you guys, comment down below. I'm curious to know what you guys think. Comment down below, out of the two of us, Jazz and Sid, who is Zelda and who is Hilda? Because I'm curious to know.
Oh.
I'm curious to know.
Okay.
Because we need to set some records straight.
We've been trying to for a while now on this one.
I'll put you down, Nocturnal. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nocturnal. Glad to see you again.
Yeah, I will say too that, who was that? Shoot, I just missed it. Okay. Hold on. Lacey. Okay. Lacey, I'm putting you down as well. Thank you very much for the donation. Yeah, and all of our donations are going to be basically just going into our Coven retreat trip. So any donations that you do send will be, buying cakes and ale and all the fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, do you want to be on the list? Did I miss one of your comments? We're happy to put you on the list if you'd like.
Totally fine.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get started.
Okay.
And let's just start with tarot.
Okay.
And we'll go tit for tat, if you will.
Okay.
If you will.
Okay.
And yeah, let's start let's see, Alyssa. Alyssa, you are first up, babes.
Okay, Alyssa. Okay, we're going through a big dramatic change right here. We have the Strength card upright. Now, this is a little hard to see. I'm sorry about that, but this card is talking about being able to tame the beast within your life. If you're going through a lot of struggle, if you're going through a lot of strife, the Strength card is here for you to kind of get more of this maiden aspect in your life, or even to a lot of this maiden type of energy, very new and upbringing, so that you can kind of open the mouth of the beast, of this lion, and actually forcefully work through it. Mm-hmm. So whether that's a new job, new career, trying to put yourself in a different industry, the Strength card is telling you that everything is like going to be very hard, but you have the strength to continue.
Period.
Period.
Okay, Alyssa, let's see what the Isis cards have for you. We have the proper burial for freedom.
Ooh.
Sacrifice to Osiris, Lord of the Dead.
Woo! Woo,
Okay.
honey.
Here's what the card looks like.
Woo, honey.
So what I'm getting from this card, we're talking about Lord of the Dead, right? Connections to the other side. A proper burial, I very much feel like maybe this is a time to bury some old behaviors. Maybe this is a time to bury, some old people in your life.
Old relationships.
Do a little cord cutting.
Woo!
I feel like the power of Osiris is very much like of life and death.
Oh, honey, yes.
And of necromancy. And the power of necromancy.
Mm-hmm.
So
maybe conjure up some spirits from the other side to help you out in cutting those cords, honey.
Yes.
Few seances.
This could also be a sign to start maybe even looking into Osiris's mythos and the lessons there in that mythos for you. That maybe, Osiris, whether you look at this as archetypal or literal, can be a teacher for you. And I think especially right now through this period of transition, So thank you, Alyssa. Let me see. I'm looking at these comments here. Yes, Joe, we have you on the list. You are added.
Hey, Jenny.
River says, hi, I'm not that familiar with Zelda or Hilda to say, but loved the live shows earlier, especially with Grimoire.
Oh,
It was super fun. It was great having Grimoire on the show. Kitty says, I think that Jasmine is Zelda and Crafton is Hilda. Ha. I feel like we cycle back and forth depending.
Yes, we do.
I do very much resonate with Zelda though.
Yeah, I always resonate with Hilda.
So
it's the hair moon for me.
Welcome, Jen. Joe, we're just really pulling just card pull. So this is just overall kind of like a message for you for tonight. If you're interested in specifics, I would just book an appointment because this is really just more to see what the cards have to say for you during this time.
Right.
You know, and you can kind of think of your question and maybe it'll be answered by the cards, but this is really for tonight, you guys, more just like general overall card pulls. Mm-hmm. So our next up is Erin.
Oh, honey, we got a lot going on here with 7 of Wands. Okay, 7 of Wands reversed here. With this card, we are getting a lot of energy. We're getting a lot of exhaustion. We're not able to come up with the motivation to grasp our new creative spark, our new concept that we want to try out with our business or a new gig. And it seems a little bit troubling, but I just want you to understand that right now you're a little bit in this rest period.
Oh,
and
we're shaking the table.
You need to kind of take some time. You need to kind of take some time to understand what you actually need to continue with a motivation, whether it's inspiration or creativity. What floats your boat spiritually? What floats your boat in a passionate way? Are you going to start a new business? Is it new? It's not Pentacles, so it's not really career, but I feel like it's the motivation to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just a little tired, but just take a few steps, take a few sips if you need. Okay.
Erin, for you, I have soul retrieval.
Oh,
deep soul healing with the goddess, Erin. So yeah, I think that this card ties in really well with what you were saying, and I think that now is a time of healing, and now is a time for deep spiritual connection and seeking connection through the goddess, seeking connection through her natural cycles and her wisdom that is there for you, whether that be maybe through your dreams or through messages and omens that you might hear on the radio driving to work, or and it can also be just channeling some of this goddess energy into your life, into your being, and embodying yourself as a living goddess.
That's truly it. You never forget that, honey.
All right, next up is Jackie.
Jackie. What's going on, Jackie? Let's see what we got here. Just do a little quick shuffle here. A little change in pace. A little something. Okay, Jackie. Our card here is the Death card. Okay, honey, I need you not to be scared of this one, okay? Death comes for us all in different ways. Death is not talking about the end of a life. This is talking about the end of a cycle. A lot of the cycles that you may be going through are tough and rigorous. We're talking about very Scorpio energy. We're talking about sex, death, and transformation. Mm-hmm. If a lot of the things that are lying within the darkness, aka things that are hiding within the closet, are starting to peek out and seep through, we got to kind of adhere to that. We kind of understand a little shadow work, maybe to understanding what we need to kind of give up. Mm-hmm. Death is the end of the cycle. So what is your cycle? Is it more of what you're supposed to be working through spiritually, what you're working through emotionally? Have you had to give up a relationship or two just to kind of get where you're at? Maybe it's a grieving process. But overall, death is here, but it's not forever. Mm-hmm. Don't see it as we're always constantly breaking cycles, or every person is completely narcissistic or negative. It just might be they're not meant for you, babe, and you got to move on. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And I would say to flow into that too. Honestly. All right, okay. Jackie, the spirit of Isis, the triumph of the goddess. Okay. And this is why I love doing combined reads, because it's like we're getting double confirmation here. Double coil and trouble, boil and trouble, whatever it is, I don't know, but spirit of Isis, triumph of the goddess. I love this card. I love the imagery of this card, and I think that this is very much about like kind of channeling some of that victory aspect and knowing that like with this death, right? It's like, even if things are not okay, things are going to be okay because we are going to make them okay. We are going to will them to be okay.
Right.
And we are going to channel the powers of the great goddess into our being so that way we may do the work in the physical from the astral as above, so below. And that's on period.
That's it.
I do want to say that since, let's go ahead and do Nocturnal and Lacey, since they did send that donation.
Mm-hmm.
So Nocturnal and Lacey, we're going to be doing you guys next. We appreciate the donation, and we will let anyone, if you send a donation, we will let you skip the line. I'll put a $sign so that way we can kind of keep track of it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And was there anyone else who sent a super chat? I think it was just Lacey and Nocturnal, wasn't it?
I think that was it.
I thought there was a third. Maybe
There might
that's
be a third.
maybe that's what I'm seeing later tonight.
The third eye be going.
Right.
Third eye be going.
I think that's it for right now. So yeah, just make sure you guys, if you're just now tuning in, welcome. Make sure you like this video, subscribe. If you're watching from Facebook, give it a share. Careful, bye.
Sorry.
Give it a share. Hi, Amy. And yeah, any donations are totally welcome. Not required though. So if you would like a reading, just comment down below that you're interested. Okay. And if you do donate, make sure that you also plop that into the comments just so that way we can know. Because I don't want to miss anyone.
Maybe put like a heart emoji next
Something.
to it. That way we can kind of see it while we're polling for other people.
Have we missed anyone? I don't think we have. Okay. I just want to make sure before we get too far ahead of the game. So let's do for Nocturnal.
Okay, Nocturnal. This message is for you. We have a 7 of Swords upright. Okay. Now, 7 of Swords is a wild card. Okay. This is essentially talking about how we're kind of getting away with a lot of things. Sometimes this is the bullshit. Sometimes this is the foolery. Sometimes we're literally masking what we think we're actually getting done with. This is also kind of talking to, like, in original tarot, it literally has festival tents. So you can kind of think of this as somebody's trying to get away with what they don't know. For you, I would say with 7 of Swords upright, this is something that you already know you're trying to get away with. If you want to complete it by going through the 8, the 9, the 10 swords within the suit, you have to kind of work with that and understand it before we get to the commitments, before we get to the fulfillments and, breaking the bonds and chains. I just need you to stop looking at things a little bit more mentally and start focusing on what the plan and strategy is.
And for you, Nocturnal, I have the Temple of Black Obsidian, the Dark Healing Chamber. Okay. Obsidian is a very protective stone. This might be maybe a sign or an omen for you to, if you do work with crystals, maybe look into some of these darker, mysterious stones. Maybe look into some jet. Maybe look into some hematite. Maybe look into some onyx, some obsidian. Maybe look into some of these stones to keep with you for, protection. But also using them, in your craft as well, using them in your practice as well. Obsidian is a very beautiful stone, being made from the glass from lava. And I think that can very much be a metaphor for, think about lava. We all have these elements inside of us. Lava being the sacred fire, right? So sensual or sexual, romantic, creative, passionate, spiritual. We all have all of these elements inside of us, and fire creates this obsidian through lava, thus for making like lava glass, which is what we call obsidian. And I think that maybe also embodying the spirit of that crystal in your life, kind of bringing some of that obsidian into your world and healing with that stone might be a sign for you. Also, scrying, okay? Obsidian mirrors. Maybe this is a sign for you to really look into using the crystal, not just as like a crystal healing modality or just keeping it with you as a totem, but also maybe think about looking into some obsidian mirrors or just scrying mirrors in general. Obsidian is a really wonderful, stone to work with in multiple different ways, which is something that I really appreciate. And I think that, taking this back to this temple here, what if we took this obsidian stone and we consecrated it to be an astral temple for us to actually trance into, And yes, Amy is so awesome. Let me pin this comment here. Amy is at the store with us as well. They're wonderful. But we do have a black scrying mirror class. That is something that is like an in-person thing, because we do have, technical, practical kind of part of that. Theoretically, you could take it online for the lecture portion. That's totally fine. But we do actually do an activity in the witch school sort of classroom at the store where we actually, turn the lights off, light the candles, and do a group ritual together where we all experience the black mirror individually, but also as a collective.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes. And Nicole, I added you to the list.
Okay.
So let's do Lacey next. Lacey, thank you so much.
Thank you, Lacey.
And Nocturnal, thank you. And I hope that some of what these cards said spoke some truth for you tonight.
Hopefully there's something that resonates, something that maybe you can work with. Okay, Lacey, this card is for you. You have a Knight of Cups. So this card is more of talking about a person in your life. This person could be you. We're often talking about knights who are very action-based people, but going into the modality of cups, we're talking about somebody who kind of takes their time to understand the relationships.
Hold on, I'm sorry. We're shaking this table a lot. I'm trying to fix that.
Sorry.
Is it your leg?
I don't know, baby. I'm just
getting passionate.
I'm very blessed. But Knight of Cups is very much talking about the energy of somebody who kind of takes their time with different relationships. This may be a time right now where maybe you're meeting a Knight of Cups. Maybe these are, dates, Maybe it's a new friend or somebody that you're trying to work up your own energy to meet in the next couple of months. But I would say this person is very thoughtful, very giving. They want to lend their cup to you. So it could be somebody at the job. It could be romantic. Kind of think of what that Knight of Cups is for you and see if this resonates.
And also with this Royal Arcana, I would say too, it can definitely be you or someone in your life. Someone already in your life, someone coming into your life, Absolutely. Okay, and Lacey, I have the Temple of Carnelian. We're getting more stones, okay? So it says, entering the fierce belly of Sekhmet, okay? So here's what this card looks like. So let's kind of break this down a little bit. We have Carnelian, which is another wonderful stone. If you do work with stones or if you're interested in stones, this might kind of be a sign for you to kind of look into, the messages and the properties specifically of Carnelian and that particular crystal, as there might be, some, growth and some healing and some raw, unbridled power there for you within the Carnelian stone, especially with its association to the goddess Sekhmet, our fierce warrior lioness goddess. And it might be a sign that that's some of this energy that we need to be embodying. I very much think in this as above, so below, like we are living divinity personified. And this could be a sign for you that during this time, maybe you need to bring in some of the fires of Sekhmet and bring in some of her sacred power into your life, possibly through a dedicated stone like Carnelian, and bringing that in,
Highly agree.
Let me answer some of these questions. Nocturnal says, I've been doing shadow work on some old trauma lately, so this is very much this is resonating. Thank you. You're welcome, Nocturnal.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Kitty says, is it too soon to have another reading if I had one yesterday? We're just doing general pulls. So, the message that you had yesterday can be different from the message that you have today. And you just got to take today for today and tomorrow for tomorrow.
That's it.
So if you would like another one, everyone is welcome to be added to the list. We're going to try to get through as many of these as we can. Just make sure that you like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, depending on what platform you're watching from. And, donations are not required, totally optional. But as this list continues to progress, there's no guarantee that we'll be able to get through everybody. So you're welcome to book a private reading down below from one of the links down below if you'd like a private session of your own. Or you can, send a donation via PayPal or Super Chat or whatever, and I'll put a little $sign by your name if you want to skip the line. And you're so welcome, Lacey. Added. Okay, so next up we have Amanda.
Okay, Amanda. I know you've been seeing these cards flip out of my deck. They just do that. Spirit just does that for me sometimes. So here's what I have for you. 10 of Pentacles upright. Okay. You didn't tell me you had a celebration coming on, honey. So 10 of Pentacles is more of talking about a celebration. You're coming to the end of a project, the end of maybe a job, but it's a time of celebration. Are you getting a promotion? Are you starting a new job? Maybe you're starting to move up. And this also too is a very good omen if you're wanting to do more work because you're kind of finishing something, finishing a project and moving on to the next one. So come on, honey, let's celebrate. Let's do the good work.
Okay, and what I have for you is the rising sun. The divine solar child is reborn.
Ooh, okay, Horus.
The divine solar child is reborn.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful card. Beautiful, beautiful. This card to me, we're getting a lot of life, death, rebirth cycles, right? We're getting a lot of necromancy. We're getting a lot of other side, otherworldly, the spirits, the astral. We keep coming back to empowerment and embodying ourselves as sacred divinity. And you are preparing yourself as the sun rises every day to rise and be reborn again. So whatever is going on, this is temporary. And you just need to allow the process to be what it is, as you cannot avoid it, right? It's a natural cycle, whatever is taking place, whatever it might be, without pulling more cards, kind of hard to really kind of go more in that aspect. But with this rising sun, I take that as like the sun is going to rise again. There is hope on this horizon, and you just have to allow what is to be until it kind of passes. And in that process of that transition, it's also about empowering yourself and honoring the sacred solar also within, and finding your own light within yourself, and not looking for that externally. That's what I have to say about that. Okay, Jen, I have you here. Jennifer, let me specify. Jennifer, thank you very much for your donation. We will do you next. Oh, I have you on the list.
Okay,
Yes. Thank you.
For Jennifer?
Yes.
Okay, Jennifer, I'm pulling some cards for you. Oh, we got an Ace of Cups reverse. Baby, what's going on? Okay. Ace of Cups reverse is talking about the lack of perfection of the suit. So aces are usually the perfection. Now we're talking about the lack of, since it has a reversal. And then also too, with it being cups, we're talking about kind of feeling a lot of disappointment with different relationships. Maybe all the new relationships kind of coming in right now haven't been working out so well. But I think this is kind of talking about giving yourself some grace because we're going through a panorama, a panini sandwich. Okay. It's a rough one. Okay. And a lot of the people we're going to meet, whether it's online, whether it's on these apps or anything like that, they're not the same interactions that we had before. So if you're feeling a lot of this discomfort or feeling pretty blue about the relationships that you might have in the next couple of months, I wouldn't worry about it. It's more of, are you having the conversations? I think you need more of the swords. And even too, maybe you're feeling just blue, just with how the world is or maybe what's going on in your life, but there is going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. We just have to kind of get through this uncomfortable portion of the cups right now.
Okay, and what I have for you is the Miracle of Isis. The Miracle of Isis, miraculous healing of the goddess. And, we have Osiris here, we have Isis here, beautiful card. And, what I get from this is very much not only balancing some of our masculine, it's flying. Can you grab that for me? Your card is flying. I think it's about balancing out some of our energy, balancing out some of our masculine and our feminine energy, balancing out our internal Osiris, and then also balancing our internal Isis and allowing miracles to unfold in your life and finding the magic and the beauty and the power and some of these little things. I think that a lot of messages are going to be kind of unfolding for you in your life. And I think they're going to be very small, little things that are going to have great personal meaning and power for you through the miracles that Isis would provide, right? So maybe looking into some of Isis and Osiris, their correspondences or their signs or symbols. Maybe look into some of that, maybe get to know some of this mythology as well, and see what resonates with you about these stories, and see what you find in your life coming into your life that kind of bears that frequency and bears that vibration. And like I said, I think they're going to be very small things that are going to have very big personal meanings to you.
I would also, too, for those who are interested a lot in basically working with the gods, but understanding a little bit more of mythology, if you're somebody who's like me, who needs a little bit of auditory and also physical copy, you could try Mythology Podcasts. It's featured on Spotify, and they do have a couple of stories and renditions of voice actors literally depicting some mythology, especially Egyptian, Greek, Roman, and Mesopotamian. There's a lot of them on there. So that may be like a way for you to connect, especially if you don't have any resources like on Egyptian mythology or books right now.
Well, and earlier I did have Grimoire on the channel as well, and they have some really amazing educational content that I really enjoy, and that's part of why I brought them on the channel, just because I really think that they really put together some amazing content about multiple different pantheons and the witchery and the occult. So you can definitely check that out as well. I know that they're in the process of working on their Egyptian one now, but they're in the process of that. So, but it's not out yet.
Yes, Kitty, I love mythology too. We got to get into it.
And that was this one, right?
Yeah, that was for Joe.
Thank you so much. Okay, and I think Kitty is next.
Okay. Kitty, I'm pulling the cards.
Thank you, Kitty, for your donation.
We're pulling the cards now. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Okay, baby, 3 of Swords upright. Okay. Baby, we're going to have a little bit of a conversation. Feeling a little bit of some betrayal here recently. Now, 3, the number of manifestation, and Swords going into our mind, our rational, and our intellect. I'm wondering if this is a little bit of how we feel betraying ourselves or being betrayed by others. This could be that right now in your life, as this is more of a minor life event, that you are feeling betrayed, maybe untrustful, maybe you don't feel worthy of like a lot of the blessings that are coming into your life. I honestly, babe, just sit back, because a 3 of Swords is just a rough card. Usually it's depicted with a heart and 3 swords in it. And it just could be right now that you are feeling a lot of this from a lot of mental exhaustion, overbearing the weight of strategies and ideas of how to get through the process of maybe some internal heartbreak, or even just heartbreak from other people, other expectations you may have had of others. As this is the world of more of the air and the communication, maybe it's time to journal that out. Maybe it's time to speak up more about that so that we can kind of get through it better.
And I have the Queen of Heaven for you.
Oh.
So, blessing from the Divine Empress of the Skies. And I think that how I would tie this into the 3 of Swords, right? And the 3 of Swords, it's minor. So don't sweat the small stuff, right? It's minor. And with the Queen of Heaven, I think that it's also about recognizing ourselves as, sovereign beings, and really stepping into that sovereignty as the Queen of Heaven, right? As above, so below. I feel like I've been saying that all night. I feel like a lot of us, it's very much, I'm getting messages and I'm feeling from these cards that now, especially with this full moon that we just had, especially with a lot of stuff that is going on a global scale, energetically and astrologically, I think now is a really pivotal time for us to really unapologetically step into this power. Unapologetically reclaim your power, or remember your power, right? Yeah. And I think a lot of this is, it's going to be stuff coming to you in different ways. And a lot of this can also be some past life stuff of like, it's not about learning something. It's about, as a witch, remembering what you already know. You know what I mean? And look at this radiance here of this Queen of Heaven. Like, that to me is a clear sign that, like, you are worthy, you are divine, you are sacred, you are powerful. And you just have to step into that and embrace it and take it all for what it is. And don't apologize for it and take up space while doing so. Okay, thank you. So next is Chris.
Okay. Hello, Chris. Hello. Let's grab some cards here. Let's see what we got going on. Ooh, okay. Well, we have a Knight of Swords, that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're talking more about this Royal Court. So when we're talking about the Royal Court in general, we're talking about, again, people in our life, kind of like that Knight of Cups we saw earlier. But a Knight of Swords is a little different. This person is going based upon plans, strategies. We got to know what's coming to us, how, when, and why. Very good with scheduling. Very good with trying to figure out other people's schedules. Could be a manager job. Could be, somebody who is literally balancing out the thought and messages of other people to get them through their day. They're like, honey, you do this, you do that. Now, if you are the Knight of Swords in this part of your life right now, it could be that it's time for you to kind of step in, being more action based. If you're a student, you know what I mean? If you're going to a university or you're trying to do schooling online or trying to teach yourself a lot of things, being a Knight of Swords is a great time of your life to kind of do that work of studying, because it's this air, this communication. Things are going to start flowing freely to you. Maybe if you're looking at scholarships, maybe if you're looking at new ways to kind of get paid for doing the studying that you're doing, this would be a good time to kind of finesse a little bit of that energy. Okay, throw them swords in the right areas.
Addicted to finesse. I'm addicted to finesse. Yes. So on the topic of action, on the topic of travel, Chris, what I'm getting for you, Chris. Some astral travel. Some astral travel teas, Chris. Okay. Really start getting into some of that. Start taking a look at that. Start exploring that. Because we have the portal of light here for you. And the message here says, she glides on wings through time and space. That is what astral travel is. Very much so. Also think about this possibility as well, lucid dreaming.
Hello.
Okay. Chris, I know you already know what this is. You know what I mean? And now it's time for you to really give yourself the permission to explore it and form your own opinions about it and not go into it with reservations or, opinions that are not necessarily built on evidence from actually researching these techniques and modalities. And there's lots of stuff out there, lots of books and content, even here on YouTube, between lucid dreaming and astral travel. But when I think about gliding on those wings and traveling through this portal of light, I am thinking about traveling either astrally, right? Traveling astrally to the past, okay? Like past life teas, and putting yourself into trance and lifting your spirit from your body for an astral experience, or having someone put you under. Going to a regressionist, going to a hypnotherapist can also be very beneficial for you if this is not something that you feel comfortable doing yourself. You can also astral travel in the sense of not necessarily going through Akashic records, but also like astral traveling. And I was talking about this, I forget who we had, but it was the Temple of Obsidian. We can make our own astral temples. And I think a lot of us do this all the time because, I know that before I even really had the recognition of what a witch was, I was like designing spaces in my mind. Like growing up, loving The Sims. Loved The Sims. Didn't really play the game so much. I just liked the houses. I like designing houses, interior design. And so what I would find myself doing is like envisioning a house, and then I would like kind of like build it almost. And it was in that state where I'm half asleep. Well, I realized later that I'm building an astral temple, if you will, or like a safe space in my mind for my spirit to go to when needed for healing, like with that Temple of Healing. But you can also travel there through this portal of light as well, Chris.
Okay, like Animal Crossing when you're making your cute house with the bells for Tom Nook. Okay. Got it.
Yes. Hi, Phyllis. Thank you for joining. Hello everybody. Everybody who's just now tuning in. we do have a little bit of a list here, and we're going to keep going. Just make sure that you guys like this video, share this video, subscribe if you're watching from YouTube, share on Facebook. And if you'd like a reading, just comment down below that you're interested, and we are going to try to get to everyone, but we might not be able to get to everyone. So if you'd like to send a love donation of whatever amount through Super Chat or PayPal, we can put a little $ by your name, and you can kind of skip the list here, but donations are not required tonight. Mm-hmm. They are not required, and we're going to keep going for as long as we can go. Mm-hmm. Okay? So next up on our list is Sherry.
Sherry. No, sorry.
So many stones. So many stones.
I forgot what that deck, because that was kind of the deck that introduced me to crystals in general. I think a lot of the ones in that deck were like my first sets. Mm-hmm. Like outside of the amethyst and the clear quartz and the selenite, it was the Lapis Lazuli for me. Mm-hmm. The Temple of Carnelian for me. Mm-hmm. So let's see what we got here, Sherry. Oh, we got the World Upright. Honey, let's look at this. Okay. So the World Upright is talking about completion and a little bit of contentment. Like the world is literally upright. So we're saying that a lot of things in your life now are kind of going on these fixed signs of the zodiac. So we're talking about Taurus, which is maybe living very well. No, there's also Leo. We're talking about fixed fire. So we're talking about more sovereignty, more stepping into our power. We're talking about Aquarius, the to know of revolutionary change. And we're also talking about, where are you? Scorpio of the sex, death, and transformation aspects of your life. So there's a lot of things kind of going on here in the World card upright. It's kind of very similar to the Wheel of Fortune, but these cards in general are more of talking about how things are kind of going right in your life. Now, it may feel like maybe you don't even think it's feeling like that right now, but it could be in the next couple of months that you start to feel that contentment. Things are going to start coming full circle.
Yeah. And I have the Temple of Lapis Lazuli, okay? The goddess of ancient skies. Ooh. Once again, I'm getting astral vibes.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
It's all in the air.
Love that we have all these stones and all these crystals coming out, because now is a time for healing. Like I said, everything that we have going on is putting us in an alignment to step into our power, to reclaim our power. And this Temple of Lapis Lazuli can also be a place that we create. When I think of, these ancient skies, I also think of astrology. So I think some of this teaching here, and here's what the card looks like. We also have even the stars within the stone, okay? So I also think that taking time during this time for you to really look at the sky, like physically actually go outside and like look at the sky and take note of that and kind of take a screenshot of that in your mind. Sense how you feel when you do look at the sky. Pay attention to the moon cycles. There's lessons there for you. You can also download the Night Sky app, which is a wonderful free app, and you can use it, and it kind of makes 3D imagery. It'll show you constellations that are currently over you, right, as it's orbiting. It'll show you planets as well, and you can look into these constellations, look into their teachings, and see what they might have for you during this time, talking about looking into this Temple of Lapis Lazuli, talking about looking into the wisdom of the stars and the ancient skies.
Absolutely. Let's get into the astral gig.
Yes.
It makes sense though, especially with that deck too, because like Isis is literally a part of the sky, and she literally is kind of above. So was Ishtar too. Mm-hmm.
We really want to get into that.
Okay, then already.
Okay, let's do Joe.
Okay, next. Joe. Oh, we got a lot for you. Well, we can only do one. Sometimes the cards are like a little bit jumpy. Okay. They're like, well, we got full messages. I'm like, well, baby, we can only talk about the one. And the most important one is about this Hermit card reverse. But Joe, I don't know what's going on recently with you, but we're talking about a lot of isolation. This is a major life event, a karmic lesson for you to learn of how you're isolating yourself is not very conducive maybe to your mental and spiritual health. It may be that you had to feel, closed, or maybe that a lot of people in your life were starting to make you feel alone. So you started intentionally cutting people off just because of that initial feeling.
Pushing people away.
Mm-hmm. It's very much like Upright Hermit. We're usually talking more about that soul searching, like kind of figuring ourselves out. But I feel like right now for you, Joe, a lot of the things kind of going on in your life is only due to this big break you've done from everyone around you. And it may only just be from people that you really love and care about, but there are people that love and care about you as well. And sometimes having that lack of connection kind of changes how we view other people that can come into our lives.
Mm-hmm.
My advice would be more of learning how to reconnect slowly, whether that's in the digital, the physical, and the astral. Maybe you just need to seek out more people who can actually help you with this, more professional help. But it's not a bad thing. I just want you to understand that don't close yourself off from maybe the new doors or blessings that can kind of come through. Just kind of work through that. Let's get back into the soul searching. Let's get back into the analytics of being the Virgo, part of the zodiac for this card. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We're going to work it out, Bob. We're going to work it out.
And Joe, what I'm getting for you is the key of life, the Ankh, if you will.
Okay.
So the message here on the card is spinning the Ankh, the key of life. Key of life, key of life, key of life. And the Ankh, a symbol of immortality. I think that, in a spiritual sense, we are having this.
Oh, we had a card fly.
Here you go, babes. We can only do one card per person, though.
It's the kids.
I think that in terms of this Ankh, we have like this immortality and this connection to the divine. And that to me is very much the key of life. So I think that now is a time to find where that key of life is for you. Mm-hmm. And there's multiple keys of life, but you need to find something that is life sustaining, life fulfilling, life providing. Find a key for you to unlock a door that's going to allow you to step into something that really sets your soul ablaze, that really excites you, that really brings you joy, that really unlocks the door of life for you. Okay. Thank you, Joe, and welcome. I know that they said earlier they were a first-time viewer, so that's cool. Thank you.
Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome. Hello, Tara. Thanks for joining. Phyllis, did you want a reading? Yeah, I have the Ankh. Hold on now.
A little different.
Where are we? This way? I have the Ankh as a ring. And actually, there's a funny story about the Ankh. Phyllis, okay, I'll put you on the list. So I have a large Ankh on my back that's tattooed. And funny enough, Sid has a big Ankh tattoo as well.
Over here.
Yeah.
So I like that.
And it's just, we had those tattoos before we even met.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? So, and then when we met and we realized that we were the Ankh girls,
right.
We were like, okay, things are matching up.
Okay.
We're paying attention to the sign symbols, omens.
Okay.
So, yes. Okay, let's do Jen next.
Okay. Jen.
And this is Jen as in DJINN.
Okay.
Lots of energy tonight.
Lots of it. Okay, we got a King of Wands upright. Okay, so again, this Royal Court, a lot of us are talking about people in our life or people that we are embodying. Now, when we're talking about kings, we're talking about very authoritative people that want to kind of not take control, but are very direct energy. Mm-hmm. They're definitely going to take charge, and especially going into Wands, we're talking about sensuality, creativity, inspiration. I mean, this person could literally embody how they set their soul on fire by being a preacher. They could be a spiritual yogi. They could be a guru or somebody who is like a motivational coach. You're thinking of how do you fuel the fire for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Now, being a King of Wands is kind of hard because sometimes people don't understand that a lot of your harsh criticism, okay, is with love. Okay, that's the hardest part. Now, you don't have to put that flame out, babe. We just got to know how to speak to the people in a way that we can be heard.
What you got to do, really, babe, is put that thing down, flip it, and reverse it, technically.
Yeah.
If we're going to get technical.
Yeah. But now don't become the reverse King of Wands.
Well, no. Maybe
Please
don't
do that. Let's
Don't
not
do
do
that.
that. But let's at least understand that we're
They
motivating
said I'm double
people.
fire.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feeling it.
Okay.
Feeling it.
The gods were saying it, but come on. But I feel definitely with the King of Wands, like maybe we want to exert more of this energy into the field we want to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's put that passion into the good work.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Absolutely. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Aunt Girls.
It's the
Yellow wella.
Yellow wella.
I have the mother of life for you. Okay? The mother of life. Once again, we have some Ankh imagery. Okay? Nourishment of the golden grain mother. So there is sustenance being provided for you. There are gifts being provided for you. I want us to take a moment and I want us to think, especially in terms of money magic, prosperity, wealth, okay? The idea of wealth has changed so much over time. You know, depending on where we all live, you know, for us here, wealth is very much measured by our American dollar, right? Like we as a society, I'm not saying necessarily we as witches, but we as a society put what the amount of wealth is on a dollar amount.
Right.
Okay. And I personally am very much a believer that wealth is, first of all, it's a state of mind. It's a being wealthy, regardless of what you do and don't have in your bank account. You can live a life of opulence with very little, because wealth is very subjective. What is wealth to me might not mean wealth to you. Maybe wealth to me is having, you know, Tupperware that I can easily find with matching lids, no problem. Maybe wealth to me is being able to have matching socks that I can find very easily. You know, maybe wealth is not having necessarily commas in the bank account. No, that's nice too, though.
That's helpful, but it's not going to make us always happy.
Absolutely.
It's not a spiritual payment.
Absolutely. And, you know, my thing too is like, when we think about the grain mother, this is a form of wealth. I mean, rice, grain, agriculture. First of all, it's life sustaining, it's life providing, as the goddess is, you know, but then also like that is a form of currency, cash, the grain, you know, and what, you know, maybe our ancestors way back, when they were thinking about prosperity magic, they probably weren't doing the same sort of prosperity magic that we are doing now. You know, because our idea of wealth has evolved and has changed. And so I think that for you, this could be a time for you to really evaluate your finances, evaluate, you know, what you would like out of this idea of wealth, where you would like your, you know, golden grain to be, and where you would like to receive it, and then simply ask for it and allow it to come to you, and maybe do a little bit of magic as well.
Bring it in back.
And really be honest with yourself about what is wealth. What is that? What does that look like for you? Is it having, you know, some nice, beautiful Persian rugs? You know what I'm saying? Is it decorating your home in rich color?
Is it the food in your belly and the food in your fridge?
Yes. Absolutely. So, Tara, thank you very much for the donation. I have you here on this list. Okay. So you are going to be next. And they did say that they're looking, you know, for any career advice. Would love to hear any guidance on that. I will tell you that, you know, we aren't necessarily doing specific questions. We're just kind of pulling cards tonight, vibing and seeing what messages come through. So this question may be answered for you tonight per the tarot and the Isis cards. We might be able to answer your question. However, if, you know, your question is not answered, you might want to consider maybe booking a private reading or coming back for another fun card pull, because tonight we are taking a look at what you need to hear right now, and maybe what comes out is not career based.
Right.
It might be, but I can't guarantee that.
Usually you want to talk about pentacles, and sometimes, you know, the tarot's like, let's talk about cups and swords. Well, we got a King of Swords reversed, honey. I don't know what's going on. Let's not embody this energy, or if you currently are vibrating at a little bit more of a negative level, might be a little narcissistic, or even too just not taking care of yourself. Kings, again, very authoritative people. They like to take control when they're more reversed. And also, too, sometimes their direction is a little bit lost to other people. They can kind of feel a little bit like a dictatorship.
Mm-hmm.
If this is somebody in your life, the King of Swords reverse is a no-go. Okay? Whether that's the job, a manager, somebody you work with, they're
a
toxic,
coworker,
they're talking
a
shit.
client. I mean, it depends really also. I mean, I don't know what necessarily you even do for a living,
Right,
but
right.
it could be someone at the job.
Somebody that you interact with
Yeah.
that is causing you to feel this kind of energy around you.
Mm-hmm.
Being a King of Swords reverse is kind of rough for a lot of people because they usually don't realize how dictatory and, managing or like, what is that word?
Sharp tongue,
you know what I mean? Like, people don't even realize that until somebody kind of checks them.
Mm-hmm.
So if that person is in your life, you can at least kind of learn how to address them by being like, it's a swords thing, this is a communication thing, we have more of an error of communication.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's find where these swords make sense, okay? What are the issues of our communication? Is it that I'm not doing the job very well, or I'm doing it well, but maybe you're not tracking it correctly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
maybe
mean,
nobody
it can be
really
a variety,
understands it.
I would say.
Exactly. Yeah. So maybe this is just somebody at the job that you're dealing with, or maybe somebody around you who's just a little bit
Too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little overbearing.
Highly.
And swords also does have to do with our air signs too. So it could be, people in your life who, it doesn't have to just be their sun sign. Keep in mind we're more than just our mere sun sign. Mm-hmm. So it can be people in your life too who maybe are displaying, because it's reverse and toxic, Aquarian, Libran, or Gemini attributes. So I have for you probably a card that always pops out for me. This is definitely a card that I really personally resonate with, and I'm interested, to hear what you think of this card. But this is the power over 7 scorpions. The power to conjure lower vibrational forces. Is it a shock that I love this card? I think too, like when I think of the mythos where, the healing miracles of Isis being given to, the priests. Mm-hmm. And like, there is stories of like the scorpion venom being pulled out, being mm-hmm. commanded out. Mm-hmm. Okay. So like when it's talking about the power to conjure lower vibrational forces, it's really talking about being able to command the venom to shift and alterate. So maybe this King of Swords reversed, to tie it all together. Right. Maybe this King of Swords reversed is the venom. Mm-hmm. And maybe the power over these 7 scorpions that is unfolding for you is the power of commanding your will to manifest what it is that is in alignment with your highest good. And it could also be commanding in the form of banishing. It could be commanding in the form of domination, depending on this situation. And maybe this totally doesn't have anything to do with your job, right? Like I said, like we are trying just to kind of see here what the cards have for you. Mm-hmm. And if this relates to your job, I'm happy. If not, really take a look at who you think in your life might be that King of Swords reversed. Mm-hmm. And really pay attention that there aren't King of Swords reversed entering your life either. And channel that power over 7 scorpions in order to command that venom. And work with these lower vibrational forces in the sense of, bending them to your will. So, absolutely. Thank you. Oh, I wanted to, let me show you this card. I think that this card is beautiful. Okay, next up we have Paige. Paige. Hey, girl, hey. And thank you for the donation, Paige.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. We'll see you quite soon. Okay.
And we already did that.
Yes. Yes.
Agua. Yalla. You're welcome. Thank you.
Oh.
Got a little jumper.
Okay. I get a lot of jumpers. I don't know. You guys have probably seen this all night, but even when I'm doing readings for my clients, I usually have a lot of jumpers.
Well, and the energy is just It's at a high tonight, I feel like.
That's true. So, Paige, we've got the Six of Wands upright, honey. We are talking about this victory. We are talking about these big changes. Okay, we're talking about the changes in the spiritual. We're talking about transition. We're talking about this big movement and how you may even feel creatively, inspiration wise, or even like a shift and change. I know we've had some talks before. We're kind of coming into some completions for some things, but we're also growing, shifting and changing. This is your spiritual growth. I'm seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
This is you rising above. Okay, letting these hoes know we can do this damn work. Okay.
And I'm getting past life, present power.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
The many spiritual faces of you.
Ooh.
So I think, Paige, that we need to take a look at the past in order to channel what we need in the present. I think that here's what the card looks like. It's beautiful, of course. The illustration of this deck are just captivating. But past life, right? That's what we're looking at. We want to take a look at these Akashic records yet again, and I know that it's something that you have looked at before, and maybe it's time for you to take another look. Maybe there is still more there yet to uncover. And when we are talking about, past life, present power, we're talking about you stepping into your power in the present and understanding more of the past, I think, is what's going to better help us do so. And I think that relates to your card really well, too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The Black Scrying Class Nocturnal, it's hosted here in Indianapolis at the Metaphysical Store. There's a event for it on Facebook. I don't have it pulled up right now, but we have an event for it. You can theoretically attend virtually. You just attend the the lecture, and you can do the activity in the lecture yourself. If you're not in person, that's why I recommend people, take it in person, because you miss out on the group work and the activity of this particular workshop, where you're going to receive a black mirror if you're in person, and you're also going to be taught how to properly and safely and efficiently use a black mirror and for what purposes you can use a black mirror. And you're also going to be, doing it, actually doing it in the workshop. In the chat. And then, yes, Paige, you are very welcome. And, maybe another aggression might be, what you end up doing. But it's not necessarily what you have to do. Give me just 1 second.
Okay. Paige, it also could be too, like, instead of doing more of like a past life regression, maybe it's more of you kind of maybe doing a lucid dreaming, so that you can kind of see if you can go to a different past life, or if things aren't finished with the last past life you had a reading on, maybe you can go to another, see if there's some other door that has been unlocked for you, and maybe that's why it's like changing.
Okay. I am so sorry.
Oh, please.
Blocked. Yeah, Phyllis. Sorry about that. See, and I hate when people do this kind of stuff, because it's just silly and pointless, because I'm not going to sit here and entertain it. It's not even going to be entertained. It is just for the record, it is very rude to come on and not only just spam our live stream, where we're trying to connect and help people and explore our spirituality, but also to just like blatantly gas yourself up. Like, that is so rude, and I am more than willing to bring people onto my channel. You don't have to do that. If you're looking to collaborate, I don't care what labels you choose to identify with. You know what I'm saying? I'm all in it for all of us, and I'm happy to promote, and I'm happy to help you grow your business if that's what you're wanting to do. But just word to the wise for anyone watching, if you are in a heart-centered business, like being a tarot reader, owning a metaphysical store, teaching occult classes, being a working witch is a heart-centered business, and you are not going to get anywhere with that sort of ugliness in your spirit.
Woo.
You will never get anywhere with that.
That's it, honey.
And I'm trying to give you some grace because other witches wouldn't even give you that.
Honey.
So you are being blocked, banned, and deleted from my live. And that's not going to be entertained. You're not going to sit here and spam people and do all of that. Okay. And that's enough that we're even given this energy to. Okay. We're going to keep it moving. Okay. Where were we?
Well, we finished up with Paige.
Okay. So let's pull for Lady.
Lady.
If you're still in the chat, this is for you.
Lady, here's what I got for you, honey. Honey. Y'all don't mind me, you know. Sometimes I'm hildy and I gotta sing it too over my cards, okay?
See, I'm feeling very Sekhmet right now.
I know you are.
I'm feeling very the fires of Sekhmet right now.
You know,
this is why they call me Zelda.
Okay, but I'm feeling like a big purr. Okay.
Purr.
But like for a basti. Okay.
You're fine, babe.
Okay. Well, honey, we got something going on here, lady. We got the 9 of Cups reversed. Okay. This is talking about not having a big connection when it comes to our familial bonds, whether that is an emotional connection to your bestie, whether that's like a familial group, your family, your friends, co-workers, or anyone like that. You're not having a lot of successful relationships right now. They're not coming into fruition. It might be really time to cut some people off. Some people may be staying. Some people maybe you've known over 10 years and you've kind of entertained the energy so much that you are no longer able to grow from it. You know what I mean? So I think right now we're just kind of outgrowing people, stepping into our own power, realizing that these people were for us maybe 5-10 years ago, but honey, they do not sit in the same spaces with us now. Okay. So baby, block, ban, delete, repeat. Okay. If you have trouble with that, let me know. We might have to do some shadow work back. We might have to do a spellcraft consultation. I don't know, but just let us know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And yeah, just analyzing who we are pouring our sacred waters into.
Phew.
You know, like I said earlier, I feel like we are all living embodiments of these elements.
Mm-hmm.
And I think understanding who and what we are giving our sacred water, our emotions. Water is also life-sustaining. And what I have for you, oracly wise, lady, is the pillar of light.
Oh.
Okay?
Oh.
Descent of the star of Isis. So like bringing this cosmic force as above, bringing that down into you and grounding it within you, grounding some of that power within you, using some of the goddess's light as a tool for illumination, to light your pathway and to show you who is meant to be and who is not.
Right.
You know, if I think about a practice that could be utilized with this, it would very much be some omen craft, which I have a video of here on the channel. But omen craft is like you set a time, you set a date, and you set your messages, and you call upon your guides, your guardians, your ancestors, your gods, whatever and whoever you decide to call on, your higher self, and you set up a ritual for it. And you think of, okay, here's my 3 signs, right? Maybe it's a horse, maybe it's a musical note. And maybe it's a cornucopia, let's say. Mm-hmm. Those are our 3 signs and symbols there. You say, I want to see these signs and symbols by summer solstice. I want to see these signs and symbols by the fall equinox, or pick a day. It can be Tuesday, the 23rd, whatever. It can be the 4th of July. It can be whatever you want it to be. And these signs and symbols may come to you, but they need to be sticking with what you asked for, right? So if it's a horse, it might be watching a movie and people are riding on horses in the movie. It might not be a literal horse that gallops into your living room. Right. You know, think about this more esoterically and channel some of this goddess's light to illuminate what is needed. And maybe that'll also help illuminate some of when we're talking about that sacred water and who we're pouring our cups into and what we're entertaining in our life right now. Because as a sovereign being, like earlier, when you guys were seeing the Sekhmet from me a little bit, you teach people how to treat you, and you pay attention to the energy that you keep, and you don't take anything less. Period. Period. Okay, Nicole.
mean, eventually I'll stop, singing the tune eventually.
And we did, Kitty, right?
I
think so.
I believe we did, yes. Yes, we did.
Yeah.
We did. Nicole, this one is for you. Oh, we're trying to drum. Okay, making sure. Oh, you coming out. Okay, 8 of Pentacles upright. 8 of Pentacles upright. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for the craftsmanship, for the good work, this continuous energy that you're putting in is called what? Consistency, honey. Okay. I don't know what your crafts is. I don't know if you are a wordsmith. I don't know if you are a teacher. I don't know if you're a manager. I don't know what kind of work you're doing, honey, but you're doing the good work of being consistent, staying committed to your goals, staying committed to how you take care of your own body. I think this is a beautiful card for you to experience right now, Nicole, because not everybody feels like they're going in the right direction. And this is kind of more of an omen that you are.
Mm-hmm.
Stick to it, babe. Whether it's a job, career move, or anything like that, you're going in the right direction. I need you to understand that because it feels like maybe you didn't know that before. Maybe you didn't feel like you were doing everything that you needed to get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
But baby, you got it. You victorious. You gonna do good. You always have done better. Okay? Okay.
And I'm getting the scales of balance coming up for you, babes.
Ooh.
The scales of balance. So really bringing these things into harmony, and also this is very much kind of a sign that like Lady Justice, Lady Fortune is in your favor, smiling down upon you.
Good fortuna.
Okay. I also think of Mayat.
Oh, Maya.
I think of Mayat as well and like her laws.
Oh, yeah.
And keeping her laws.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe looking into Mayat as well, looking into this, this archetype, this goddess of divine radiance, beauty, and justice, and, exploring some of that. And, if there's been some things weighing heavy on your mind where you've been thinking about maybe taking a risk or taking a chance, know that the scales of balance are in your favor. Mayat is in your favor. And this can be a powerful time for you to take a chance.
Period.
Katie is next.
Katie.
Katie.
Okay, we're off the top. Make it drop. 8 of Wands. Okay, y'all are really moving with the consistency, okay? As we were talking about being committed to the coin and the bag, honey, now we're talking to be basically committed to more of our, passionate pursuits. Now, this could be the side hustle. Okay, I don't know if you're opening up an Etsy shop. I don't know if you are sticking with the kind of groove that you kind of been in, the motivation, the hustle, the vibe, the tribe that you need to keep it going, babe. These are the sacred fires. Okay, let's say it's on a spiritual level and you've just been doing your good meditation work. Maybe you've been trying to align yourself better. The 8 of Wands is saying you are doing that work. Okay, staying consistent, especially in spirituality, is more important. It's okay if you fall off. As we know, progress is not linear, and you do not need to be feeling like you need to stick there or stay there. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's move and groove, and let's continue with that. You doing the good work? I know you are. Okay.
And I'm getting the Lunar Queen. Okay, she of the Celestial Crescent. Okay, really getting into it, babe. Really stepping into some of this Isis, honoring our cycles. Our waxing cycles where we are increasing and building, where we are, invoking, honoring our full moon cycle when we are at our peak, at our most radiant, at our most powerful, honoring our waning cycles where we are decreasing or where it's time to evoke things instead of invoke them. Honoring our new moon where we begin again, honoring our dark moon where we sit and become comfortable in that darkness, embodying this crescent goddess, embodying this lunar queen is about being that queen as we are living gods.
That's it, honey. That's it.
Okay, we're gonna do one more for tonight.
Okay.
Let's do Cara.
Ara.
Wala yala. Mashallah. And you guys, this is going to be our last one for tonight. I want to thank you all for joining.
Okay,
Who are we
honey.
getting?
Honey, we got the Four of Pentacles upright. Okay, let me talk about this, honey. We are talking about balance. Okay, four corners of the table: earth, air, fire, water. Okay, we are talking about consistency, but more on understanding where that balance is and that fine line is. How much money are we bringing in, but also to how much money we are investing in ourselves? Are we investing in our health, our wealth? You know what I mean? In our material body, because that's a lot of Four of Pentacles too. Are you investing into a new home? Have you started a new job? Have you started becoming, I don't know, I would say more understanding of what work you need to do moving forward. And I would say, especially with the Four of Pentacles, this is a good sign that if you're working in a way that has kind of built you up and people are starting to see the progress that you've made, this is very Four of Pentacles. Earth, home, family, or anything like that.
I'm getting the brother in darkness.
Oh.
Okay.
Well.
Overcoming negative energy with feminine power. Let's get into it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's say it.
One, let's explore this brother in darkness.
Set.
Let's really talk about Set.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I share a little bit of a different opinion with some of this deck, right? In the sense that if you want to work with Set, explore that. I'm not going to tell you to not move into that chaos.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to tell you to not work with the brother in darkness, because that is the message, is just the brother in darkness, Set, this chaos energy here. Okay. And I know that we have talked before about some Satyrities, and you can pull some of that into this as well. And this can also be a sign to really move and flow more freely into Set here, and flow more freely into the Set being, the Set energy, right? Overcoming negative energy with feminine power, honey, our power can be found with Set here. Our power can be found with also, like we talked about earlier, honoring that dark moon within us. That dark moon is our baneful power. That is part of who we are. There are times where, we are illuminated like the full moon, and we are full of light and blessings. And there are times where we are raging, stormy, dark moon, where it's really time to do some work. And this might be a sign that, it could be time for you to really kind of get your hands dirty and really get into some true teas with Set, whether it's working directly with Set or whether it's, exploring more with this Set here. And we can talk more about that later too. And I know that I sent you some links as well, and definitely check those out. Did we do Phyllis already? I don't think we did. Did we?
Phyllis, let us know.
We've been reading and reading.
Kids. I'm pretty sure I thought we did.
Did we do Phyllis? Do you remember? I wanted to make sure that Phyllis got one because they had messaged me.
We can always do it another. If we feel like we haven't, we can always do another card,
Well, let's just do another then.
Yeah.
Okay. Phyllis, if we didn't get you a card earlier, or if we already gave you a card earlier, this will just be a bonus for you.
Oh, well, you got cards flying, honey. I got to get up and get your card. Sorry.
I got you.
Okay. Our moderator is taking care of us by getting us the cards. Oh, maybe this is why the card flew out. We're at a Six of Swords. Phyllis. Okay, Six of Swords, we're talking about transitional movement when it comes to thought. We are basically breaking boundaries on how we used to feel about last plans, maybe going from a Five of Swords, not feeling up to the fight. And now this Six of Swords is kind of telling us a lot of these painful goodbyes. We're ready to move forward. We're ready to make a transition and a big change in our life. And this is coming up because you made a powerful and big decision that wasn't easy for you. And it's not easy now. And it probably won't be easy feeling that later.
Mm-hmm.
But I want you to understand, too, a Six of Swords is also kind of a way to understand how to move on from that feeling. You can't really move from 5 to 7, especially like numerically in tarot, because we're talking about missing out on that transition. You will get to that 7 of understanding. You will get to that 8 of commitment soon, but we need to go through that process of letting go.
Mm-hmm. Very much, yeah. And I'm getting the Ancient Power Mysteries. That's what I'm getting. Hear the rattle of Isis playing. So this takes me right into this concept of ritual, ceremony, the Rattle of Isis, the call of Isis, the call of the goddess in your life, hearing her call, listening for her signs and her messages. Like we talked about earlier, it can be very small things, right? Very small things that might appear small to other people, but can have a very big impact for you. And as we are stepping more and more into our sacred gifts and our spirituality and our understanding, it's going to continue to unfold in our lives. And it can be something like song lyrics. It can be something like, let's say you're out shopping and there's this particular title of a book that just oddly seems like it fits, right? Like it can be being in a grocery store and just having a conversation with someone that just slightly seems different, right? Those little things. Hearing the goddesses rattle. The rattle can come through the stereo for you. The rattle can come through the mouth of babes for you. The rattle can come through your dreams for you. Like the goddess calls on us all in different ways. And this is a sign that you are being called now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So thank you. Thank you, Kara. Oh, that was so on point. I have chills now. Love you guys. You're awesome.
Oh.
Come through, babe.
We're here in the digital, the physical, and the astral, honey.
Yes. And we've had a lot of fun with this. And like, hopefully this is something that like we can do again in the future, you know, soon. And remember too, like I'm going to have Sid's, all of their links, the Crafton page and all that. So if you'd like to book with Sid, you can check out Sid's links. I'll have my links down below. If you'd like to book with me, if you'd like to book a session, hit me up. We can work something out and schedule something. And then also per recent popular demand, since people have been kind of interested, you know, if you would, you could book us both.
You could book
if you want to, if you want a 2-for-1, you know what I'm saying?
You know, if you need the Auntie Zelda and your
the Zelda and the Hilda babes.
You know,
if you need some craft auntie energy in your life, we can do that too.
We can do it. Babe.
We can figure it out. Thank you so much, Nicole. Thank you. Thank you. And yeah, definitely also, like I said, just check out all the links, you know, catch a vibe. We're definitely going to be doing this again as well. And I have some new content coming onto my Patreon. You can find that link down below as well. If you would like to get some exclusive content, you know, I get a little bit more intimate, a little bit more personal. There's rules, obligations, and restrictions to this YouTube stuff. Woo. Okay. So I definitely share some more private things over there. So check that out if you'd like. And thank you all so much for joining. And I think next time, like maybe we'll put up a couple Oracle decks and let people vote.
Yeah, because I told you I got a full box ready.
Yeah. I think next time that's what we'll do. Maybe we'll try. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to like make promises that I may or may not be able to keep, but I would love to do this as an SBAT tea.
Oh,
have like little full moon parties, have some of the coven over, you know what I'm saying? Get together, have some drinks, you know what I'm saying? Have maybe a pizza. We can all get some drinks. We can all kind of eat together.
Okay.
You know, we can honor the sacred cycles. As between so betwixt.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying? Get together. Have a nice little party. You guys can have dinner with us or something.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
A little small.
Have like a little esbath. You know, we can have drinks. We can have dinner. We can celebrate a little full moon thing.
A little esbat.
A little esbat, if you will. A little consecration of Aradia for those of you who know what I'm talking about with the Witch's Gospel who are following on the Patreon. Hail the cheesy roll-ups. Yes. And yeah, we'll always have at least one of us will be reading tarot. But I like kind of layering this Oracle and tarot. It's so fun.
It is. I was like an Oracle though too.
And yeah, and next time maybe we will let you guys a smoke and toke, babe. Please. Please. Yeah, but I will probably post maybe a poll and you guys can pick. We'll maybe have like 3 Oracle decks and you guys can pick, you know, what sort of Oracle you would like in conjunction with the tarot. So, do you have anything that you'd like to say?
I mean, I'm just so happy to be with y'all. You know, it's been a while since I've been on the YouTubes. A lot of Six of Swords for me, a lot of big transitions. So I'm trying to make my way back into the digital. I won't be too much longer. I'll be there soon. Okay. But I'm always here for you if you need to talk. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, insane. So, yeah, thanks again for joining. And until next time, blessed be.
Blessed be.